Let me say this clearly, and I don't care if this triggers you. You're not broke because the economy is bad. You're not broke because you didn't get lucky. And I promise you, you're not broke because you don't have the right strategy. You're broke because your standards are low. Your discipline is constantly up and down, up and down, up and down. And you keep negotiating with a version of yourself that has already failed. And if that bothers you, that is the best news of the day. Because the moment you stop protecting all your excuses is the moment your life is actually going to start changing. Now, I already know most people just clicked off. Their ego couldn't handle it. But you're still here, which tells me something so big about you. You're not looking for someone to make you feel better. You're looking for someone to tell you the truth so you can change your life. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you the exact programming that keeps you stuck, the daily negotiations you don't even realize you're making, and the framework I use every day with my high-level clients to reprogram their identity in 30 days. But I'm warning you, this is going to be uncomfortable. Every single day you wake up and you enter a negotiation. And every single day you lose. The alarm goes off. And instead of getting right out of bed, you have a conversation with yourself. Should I get up or should I hit the snooze button? I'm tired. Maybe just 5 more minutes. Nothing else will happen. I'll start tomorrow. That's a negotiation, and you just lost. See, most people think discipline is about willpower. It's not. Discipline is about making a decision that you're going to change your life. Discipline is about eliminating negotiation. When you negotiate with yourself, you've already given your old identity a seat at the table. And not just any seat, the head seat. It's making every decision for you. It's always undefeated. It knows exactly what to say to keep you stuck. One day won't matter. Let me procrastinate, I'll do it an hour later. It won't matter. Does that sound familiar? That keeps robbing you of what you're capable of. That voice is not your friend. It's your prison guard. And every time you listen to it, you vote for the version of yourself that already failed. Let me ask you something. How many times this week did you negotiate with yourself? Be honest. How many times did you talk yourself out of doing what you knew you should do? That number, that's your discipline score. And if it's high, that's why you're stuck. Winners don't negotiate with themselves. They decide once and they execute daily. The alarm goes off, they get up. No negotiating. It's time to work out, they go. No negotiating. It's time to make the call, they dial. No negotiating. The decision was already made. There's nothing to discuss. But here's the thing. Negotiation is just a symptom. The real disease goes so far deeper. And if you don't understand this next part, you will keep losing to yourself forever. You want to know the real reason you keep breaking promises to yourself? You've never decided who you're going to be. You have a goal. You may even have a goal written down, but you've never backed it up with a committed decision that everything opposite of this decision is dead. And that's how most people operate. They decide based on how they feel. Am I motivated? You never make a decision based on feeling. You make a decision based on how is this going to impact your life? Is this the dream you really want to live into? See, most people are always letting their feelings drive their standards. That is a huge mistake. Your standards always drive your feelings. That's why people are constantly talking themselves out of what they should be doing. See, right now, you already know what you should be doing, but why aren't you doing it? The real problem isn't before the negotiation, it's because you've never decided who you're going to be and who you're not going to be. Let me make this crystal clear. Your feelings are not who you are. They are what is keeping you stuck in who you've been. Feelings are always connected to your old programming, to your old self. They're constantly designed to keep you safe, to keep you comfortable, and keep you exactly where you've always been. So when you don't feel like it, that's never intuition. That's your old identity driving the bus, fighting to keep you exactly where you've always been. Here's a rule that changed everything for me in my life. Decide first, feel later. It's never feel first, then maybe decide. Decisions create feelings. My mentor, Bob Proctor, got this integrated inside of me. When I was first working with him, he said the single most important skill set is decision. And he said, Arash, when you make a decision, all you put all your conscious energy and attention on is why you can. You don't even think for a second why it won't happen. When you make the decision to show up, to be your very best version of yourself, to do the greatest work, the feelings will always follow. But if you wait for the feeling to show up first, you're going to be waiting forever. I remember asking my mentor once, how do you stay so motivated all the time? He was always passionate. He was always in the spirit of what he was doing. He looked at me and said, Arash, I'm not motivated. Motivation is for losers. He says, I'm disciplined. He said, the amateurs are the ones who are motivated. He said, the people who are disciplined are the ones who create massive results. They are the ones that are the game changers in life. That one sentence rewired my entire mindset because motivation is a feeling and feelings change. But discipline is a decision and decisions compound. If you're waiting to feel like a millionaire before you act like one, you're gonna die broke. Action always creates movement and emotion, never the other way around. Stop waiting to feel ready. You're never gonna be ready for a thing until you do it. But why do so many smart people have the best ideas but they never act? Because they're afraid to fail. Failing is always a part of winning. Do it now, do it flamboyant, do it with emotion, do it with certainty, and you watch how fast the results are gonna chase you down. Now you're probably thinking, okay, Arash, this sounds like me, but why do I keep defaulting to my feelings? That's where it gets interesting because the answer is always in your programming. 95% of our day is run by a program. Just look at what you did yesterday. Your program ran you. It ran me as well. Only 5% is run by our conscious mind. So we have to get super intentional about who we're going to be. And we have to start changing the program through reinforcing the repetition of being that person. I promise you, you're not lazy. You're not weak. You're not even undisciplined. A few months ago, I had this huge epiphany. The last 19 years, I changed my life for one reason. And it was because of discipline, but something more powerful than discipline happened. 19 years ago, I decided that I was going to change my life. I decided I was going to create a life of freedom. And I started sharing this epiphany with all my elite clients. And I started getting all these people sending me how much that changed for them because they always thought they were undisciplined. I promise you, discipline is a huge factor in success, but the prequel to discipline is you have to make a committed decision that you're going to change your life. That's why when I was failing, I was the most undisciplined person you had ever met. But that wasn't the cause of it. The cause was I never followed through on my decisions. Let me show you how your mind actually works. Everything in your life right now, your income, your body, your confidence, your relationships, it's just a printout of your internal programming. Our programming is the foundation of every result in our life. And you have to understand how important the sequence I'm about to give you is. Our philosophy always creates our standards. So it's philosophy, standards, stories, identity, results. So our philosophy always creates our standards. Our standards always create the stories we have in our mind. Our stories create our identity, and our identity is the foundation of every result in our life, and our identity creates our results. This is your automatic operating system. Your philosophy is where the operating system starts with. It's how you see the world without even thinking about it. Your automatic beliefs. If your philosophy is money is hard to make, that philosophy created your standard. Maybe your standard becomes, I have to grind 80 to 100 hours a week just to survive. That creates a story. I'm going to keep working harder than everyone else. And then you make working harder a badge of honor. But nothing ever works out for you will become your story. And that story, it creates a flawed identity. I'm just not lucky. And it creates a victim identity. Some people have it, but I don't. And that identity is going to create your results every single time. I promise you, you're not unlucky. You're programmed for struggle. Now, I've got a powerful question for you. And I want you to answer this honestly. Are you committed to suffering? Are you committed to struggle? Are you committed to why things won't work out? Or are you committed to freedom? Are you committed to breakthroughs? But don't just answer that consciously. I want you to let the evidence of how your behaviors are set to answer that question. See, most people are asking the wrong question, and that's why some people are working 14 hours a day and they stay broke, while others work 4 hours a day and they build the most amazing empires. It's not about effort, it's about programming. Effort without the right programming is just exhaustion and leads to burnout with no reward. So the question isn't how do I work harder? The question is how do I rewrite my programming? And that's exactly what I'm going to show you. But first, you need to understand why every time you've tried to change before, you failed. Most people want to create the most amazing results without changing. They never want to get out of their comfort zone. Now, I want you to think about you. You've tried to change before. New Year's resolutions, morning routines with no power, no consistency, vision boards. You create the vision board and never look at it again. Journaling, not asking the empowering questions, the tough questions that are going to activate this other version of you that's dying to come out. And every single time, you went right back to the old you. But here's why. Your identity was masqueraded as the old you, but because you had bigger goals, you think you're somebody else. But until you become a new version of you, until you decide who you're going to be, is when the new version of you is going to be released, and that's when change is going to happen. Repetition and persistence is the key to changing your programming. Think about how you learned your name. Let's say your name's Jenny. Your mom didn't say, your name is Jenny once. She said it thousands and thousands of times over and over again. She said, Jenny's learning to walk. Jenny's smiling. Look, Jenny fell down. Jenny started running until it became automatic. That's how all programming works. Repetition is the key. It's doing something over and over and over again. But once we become adults, repetition is so illogical to the programming. That's why people are constantly saying, let me read the next book. Let me watch the next video. That's where they have it backwards. You have to repeat something thousands of times until it becomes a part of who you are. So when you try to become someone new, when you're trying to build a beautiful dream, when you're trying to build new habits, earn more money, become more confident, your old identity doesn't just step aside, it's going to fight back. Your old identity is dying to keep you safe. It's going to whisper things to you. Why do you need that? You're already doing so much better than you've ever done. Who do you really think you are? Never listen to this voice. That voice is a liar. What you have to do is just relax and understand you get to go wherever your thinking goes. What is programming? It is a part of how you're thinking automatically. You failed? Failing is going to happen. I'm going to fail a ton this year. Failing and winning are part of the same combination. You are never going to win unless you're willing to fail. And that's in repetition. I want you to commit to yourself that you're going to get in the right repetition. Most people are constantly repeating the wrong thoughts over and over again, taking the wrong actions that keeps you where you've always been. I want you to get emotionally involved in persistence and repetition. It is so much easier to act your way into a new identity by doing things your future self would do that your current self would never do. It will take you so much longer to think your way into a new identity than to act your way into a new identity. Every single decision you make, every decision I make every day is either a vote for my old self or a vote for my future self. There's no neutral. When you never follow through with your word, your old self is always controlling every decision you make. When you skip the workout, your old self won. When you hit snooze, you just voted for your old self again. When you scrolled on social media, instead of took the actions that were going to achieve your goals, your old self keeps winning. When you negotiate instead of execute, You just voted for your old self. And all those votes, they mean something. They compound and are going to affect the way you live. You are not who you say you are. You are what you repeatedly do. So look at your actions this week. That's who you voted for. That's who you're becoming. Now let me show you exactly how to start voting differently starting right away. If this is hitting different right now, if something just shifted, if you're really ready to make moves, I need you to do something. Hit that like button, subscribe to this channel, because what I'm about to share is the exact framework I use to reprogram my clients. And you're gonna wanna come back to this over and over again. All right, let's keep going. All right, now let's get into the tactics. Here's the exact framework I use every single day, and the same one I give all my high-level clients to change their life. Step 1, the millionaire morning routine. Your morning is not about checking boxes. It's not about doing things because I'm telling you to do them. Your morning is how you're gonna end your day. How you start your day is how you own your day. So it's not about just doing routines for the sake of routines. Your morning is about really implanting your dream inside your subconscious mind. Now let me share with you what I do. The first 5 minutes, I always spend in auto-suggestion. I speak my goal aloud with emotion like it's already done. Why do I do this? Because I have to train my central nervous system that I'm already in the possession of the good I desire. And your language is super important. You never say, I want to make $1 million. You always start with I am. I am someone who is earning $1 million or more every year, and I love it. I create massive value, and wealth flows to me effortlessly because that's who I am. Wealth is so normal to me. See, you're not wishing, you're declaring. Second, I spend 5 minutes a day of disciplined visualization. But here's the key most people miss in visualization. You have to engage all your senses. What do you see right now as you achieved your goal? Like, what is the image? You've already achieved your goal. What are you seeing now? See it clearly. What do you hear? I want you to imagine your loved ones congratulating you. What do you taste? Picture yourself at a celebration dinner. What kind of food did you order? I want you to get in so vividly the taste of that food. And then what do you feel? Are you feeling pride? Are you feeling gratitude? Are you feeling peace of mind? The proof that you could do it. This is not woo-woo nonsense. This is you programming your reticular activating system, the part of your brain that filters reality to find opportunities that match your new dream. Third, write your goal as a future truth every single day, not just once in a while. We have to reinforce on a subconscious level your goal deeply inside of you. So always start with, I am so happy and grateful now that I am earning $1 million or more every year and I love it. Remember, repetition is how you learned your name. Repetition is how you're gonna learn your new identity. Repetition is how you're gonna achieve your big goal that you want more than anything else in this world. Here's the rule I make before any decision I ever make. I always ask myself, if my future self would do this, I do this. I never allow my current self to make the decision. If my future self wouldn't do it, I'm not gonna do it. The version of you who already has what you want, that's who I want making your decision. Would future you hit snooze? The answer is obviously no. Would future you skip the workout? No, so you don't. Would future you waste 3 hours scrolling social media? No, so you don't. See, you already know these answers. Stop pretending you don't. Now there's one final piece, and if you miss this, everything else is gonna fall apart. Here's the difference between people who change and people who just talk about it forever. It comes down to one identity shift. Undisciplined people negotiate. Should I get up early? Negotiation. Should I go to the gym? Negotiation. Should I make that call? Negotiation. Every negotiation is a leak from your old self, and enough leaks are gonna sink your ship. Disciplined people don't negotiate. The decision is already made. Their success is guaranteed. The alarm goes off, they get up. No negotiation. It's gym time, they go. No negotiation. It's time to create, they create. No excuses. But here's the real piece of this puzzle that is gonna unlock you. Discipline isn't something you do, it's someone you are. When you identify that I'm the type of person that is disciplined, your actions are gonna become automatic. You don't try to be more disciplined, You allow yourself to be more disciplined. You start seeing yourself as a disciplined, effective individual. It's just who you are. It's like asking a fish to try to swim. It doesn't try to swim, it's a part of who they are. It just does, because that's what fishes do. When you rewire your programming, when you rewire yourself at the identity level, when you see yourself as someone who does what they say, you're so good at follow through, you keep promises to yourself, you show up regardless of how you feel, discipline stops being hard and it becomes just who you are. I used to be an introvert. I share this at every seminar I do. I was the person who would always go to events. See, I wanted it so badly, but I wasn't changing. And I would be hiding at events. I'd be hugging the walls on breaks. I would avoid people. I was playing small. And one day I realized, I don't know any introverts that are winning. And I said, I can't show who I want to be by hiding. I have got to stop being an introvert. Not because there's anything wrong with being introverted, but because I was using it as an excuse to hide. So I changed my story. Remember what I said, story creates identity, identity creates result. So by changing my story, I changed my identity and everything shifted. See, you can do the exact same thing, but you have to be willing to let the old you die. I want you to kill off the old you thousands of times. But the question is, are you? Let me bring this home for you. You came into this video thinking you had a money problem, or a motivational problem, or a strategy problem. Every problem we have is always an inside job. It's a personal problem. Now you know the truth. You have a programming problem. That's your opportunity. You change your program, you're going to change your life. Your standards are low because your philosophy is broken. Guess what? You get to upgrade your philosophy. Your discipline is inconsistent because you keep negotiating. Now you know how to create discipline is just a part of who you are. And you keep failing because you're voting for your old self every single day. But here's the good news. Programming can be rewritten. Starting right now, one decision at a time, one action at a time, one vote at a time. You're not broke. You're not unlucky. You're just undisciplined. And that story ends today. Your standards are low because your philosophy is broken. You get to upgrade your philosophy. Your discipline is inconsistent because you keep negotiating. Now, after watching this video, negotiation is dead to you. And you keep failing because you're voting for your old self every single day. Now, I want a commitment from you starting today. Every decision is coming from your future self. If I can change my life, so can you. I was struggling immensely. And I always tell everybody I coach, if I can do it, you can do it. I will tell you this, starting right now, one decision at a time, one action at a time, one vote at a time. That's it. You're not broke, you're not unlucky, you're just undisciplined, and that story ends today. Now, if you're ready to go deeper, watch this video next. Check it out. I'll see you there.